Oh man, it is what it is, and it'll be what it'll be, man. I'm Pacou Mutombo doing and that's Confi'Dance on that, the show that brings you people you need to know when you need to know. And guess what? I got it, bro. After 2 months, if not more. if not more, I got it. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Courtnae Paul.
I'll take it. It was, for the record, it wasn't 2 months.
It was 2 months.
Do I look like the kind of person?
Girl. Yo, let me put it this way. I must say this. This is the reason why people didn't like her when she just blew up, is because you can't just get to her anymore. There's management now.
What nonsense!
I had to. What are you talking about? This is true.
What blew up, guys?
Hey,
we're hustling every day. There's
hustling
no
every day. Oh, really?
Blown up, yeah, man.
Hustling every day. Okay, cool. You know what? We actually just started. To get everything started properly, Courtney.
Yes.
In a nutshell, who are you? Who's Courtney? To the people who don't know you, who's Courtney?
I am a 28-year-old little colored girl from Durban, Red Hill. I come from a small community of small dreams, By profession, I'm a choreographer, Bgirl, and DJ. But other than that, I'm just easygoing. I'm a lover of life, and I kind of just like to do things, as best as I can, as fun as I can, and as full out as I can, man.
I'm really happy you said that, because you're a Bgirl.
Yeah.
Yeah? When I went down to Durban, there was a buzz about, because you were still sponsored by DC, there was a buzz about, there's a Bgirl here. I'm like, a Bgirl, Durban? No, dude.
You see, the haters trying to hate.
Hey, I'm not hating. It's just, it was fact. Everybody knew. Poppers, Gauteng.
Yeah.
Crumpers, Durban.
Yeah.
B-boys and B-girls, Cape Town.
Yep.
It's only after they got, destroyed by PE that, consider PE too. Do you know what I'm saying? We're not going to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? When I heard about you, I was like, what? Bgirl, I need to meet this person. And it's only through there when I started seeing that, DC and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, okay, wait. This girl is too pretty to be girl, dog. What? Truth be told, not just me. These are not my words.
What does it look like?
It looks kind of rough, and you look like a cultural pusher type of person, like model type. Yeah. Calvin Klein.
It's funny that you say that, because I remember when I first started, and there was a photo of me that had gone around. It was just a freeze.
Yeah.
And I was going up to Cape Town for like one of my first battles. And one of the comments from a Bgirl there was like, she's an action model.
You see?
I was like, what is that even?
See?
What is that?
You don't have the look. You actually get your hands and palms dirty.
This is the problem, guys. Putting looks on people.
Limiting people. But it's working for you. It's working for you. So with that being said, how did you start? Why Bgirl?
I ask myself that every day. Now, you know what? It started for me as a gymnast. I was a gymnast from about 6. That's what I did. I did gymnastics, I played soccer, I did kickboxing. That was my life.
Yeah.
I was always into...
I
was always into the weird stuff that my parents...
You do realize that this sells, right? Like, on you?
Not in my business, no.
Okay,
no, guys. I wish I was one of those girls.
But you are!
No! Look, I'm going to make this clear. As a Bgirl, as a DJ, this is not what sells.
Okay.
How many DJs in this country, females, do you know look like me and actually are killing the game?
Truth.
If I wanted to really kill the DJ game, I can't look like this.
Truth.
I need to rather take this thing off.
Yeah,
and then maybe,
actually.
you're going to book me. But other than that,
okay, I see what
my
you're
look
saying.
has never really worked for me, So it's not a look to say it's a look. It's just who I am. And it took me a long time to be okay with that. But anyway, let's circle back. So gymnastics at 6. And it was just what I was into. My cousin was like a gymnast, like an amazing one in the apartheid days. So she came up on the struggle where she couldn't compete based on her skin tone and blah, blah, blah. So I think when I came around, she was like, I'm going to train you.
Oh, nice.
And you're going to be amazing. And I was so dope, but I lost interest, as kids do. I was 6.
You were 6?
Yeah, I started at 6. So I'm in the gym 3 hours a day doing this stuff. And then I'm 8, I'm 9. I'm growing up a little bit more. My cousins are playing soccer in the yard. I'm like, I'd rather do that stuff than be tearing my hands every day. So I got over it. And that's just how it happened. I started dancing at about 11 in a church. by mistake. I went to like a Pentecostal church concert. I was like, this is a vibe, you know? And then they were on stage doing these things. And they were like, join us! Like, and I was like, sweet, I'm gonna do that stuff.
Okay.
And that's kind of when it happened. One person making a comment like, you've actually got really good rhythm. And I was like, no, it's not a thing. And then joining that thing with the little bit of gymnastics that I kind of had in my pocket,
it organically just happened.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say that I was even really breaking until
when?
My late teens.
Really?
Because I was always just kind of doing the tricks that I had. I could
see.
flip, I could do handstands, I could mimic the little things that I saw, but would I have said, yo, I'm breaking? No ways.
What got you into it? Like, who did you see to say, okay, you know what? I've got the background, I may as well just go for it.
No, I don't think there was ever that moment.
Really?
There were definitely like, yes, the music videos and obviously the b-boys in Durban, there was a very small group.
Yeah.
So for me, also seeing them around and just kind of, I used to go to the Bat Center a lot also. So those battles, I wasn't even dancing then.
Really?
I was just like sitting in the audience like, this
What?
is amazing.
No way.
You know, I was never part of it in that way. You know, just jumping in the taxis every day like, guys, where are we going now? You know, crumpers are swinging off the roofs and I'm just like, this is great. Like one day I'm going to be part of this. I don't know what I'm going to do, but it just looks great, you know? And that's kind of how it happened, just watching and then kind of asking the questions like, can I get involved, you know? But like you're saying, there was never a goal.
No.
So it was very hard to even break that mental thing of, hey, this is actually something you could do, as opposed to just being the girl that comes out like, ta-da, there's a trick, and then she goes back.
After cypher.
You know, so it's
but
been a journey.
Talking about a journey, has it been hard? Did you get acceptance from, we know for a fact that b-boying there's a reason why it's called b-boying. It's quite dominant in South Africa. How was it for you to break through and actually to make your mark and say, listen, I'm Courtney, Bgirl, here I am?
I think like what's super important is that everybody probably knows exactly how hard it was for me. I think we just like to, you'd rather hear me say it.
That's what's up.
Just like when I sat down, you said, people didn't like you. And I was like, what did I do?
But it's the truth.
You know, and your words were, someone said there's a Bgirl, and we're like, no, it can't be. Or she just moved here, we don't like her.
Exactly.
Nobody knew me. Nobody had a conversation. There was nothing to go off.
Whatsoever.
So my first answer to that question is always, when is it ever easy to be a female, for one, in anything? You guys take over everything all the time. You don't make it easy, unless I'm the girl that looks a little different. Then it's dope to have me around because it looks cute, you know? So yes, female on its own, difficult. Then coming into a space where it's so, I hate saying male dominated because I wish there was like a one
word.
step up. No, I wish there was something more intense for male dominant, but how much more, you know?
Okay.
Breaking in itself is so, hip hop is misogynistic. That's where I'm gonna go. So getting into the breaking thing, I always say in the beginning it was fun. Like, this girl is trying some stuff. And then when I started to take it seriously and maybe I'm moving at a different pace or I want other things out of it, then you become a problem. Like I say, you're an action model. Why? Because I was in a magazine. Now I'm a sellout. You know, it was always that combination of things. And for me, I could never understand is why can I not do the thing that I love and get paid to do it and live my life doing what I love. Now I'm a sellout. I never understood it. So yes, it's been tough. It's still tough. Only I would say the last couple of years have been easier once I moved past caring. If that makes any sense. Once I moved past giving a damn whether you thought I was what I said I was. And I think that's why I've always been, you're quiet. I'm like, no, dude, I don't think you've ever had a conversation. But I'm quiet to those who, my circle is very small, based on the fact that I went through so much in my early years. I can't do that to myself anymore. I put such a dampener on my progress. I stopped breaking for a good couple of years. I would dabble here and there, but I removed myself completely. I was like, I don't want to do this. For me, a scene or a culture shouldn't be about bashing the next person. It should be like, let's build each other, let's this, let's that. And I always think like, how far could I have been if I was genuinely accepted into the culture instead of being knocked out the minute that I stood in the circle, you know?
It's not the same anymore though, right? I mean, you're getting so much love now though, right?
Yeah, but I wouldn't say it's from where you would expect it to come from.
What do you mean by that?
If we look at what the scene is today, you know, and I look at, for example, when we just started Break the Beat, things like that are things that should be celebrated in a community, in a culture, because it's like, no, not really.
Really?
I'll never forget our first year on
Because
the
you were a
finale.
judge. You were a judge.
Yes, I'm the head judge.
The
of
head
that
judge,
show.
yeah.
Which most people are just like, why her? And that's the main thing
What?
in SA dance culture. Wait, I'm gonna make this very clear.
Yeah.
Stop that.
Yeah.
Stop asking why this one, why that one. Stop talking so much.
Yes.
And do the damn things.
Then
maybe it would be you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's really all I'm getting at. It's not, I could be the worst dancer on the planet, but I'm gonna outwork you. Because I come from a space of nobody ever opening a door, nobody ever giving me and that's the thing. People seem to think I come from a very privileged background, or like I'm spoiled, or like like.
See, if anything, I like myself because I always pay attention to detail. That's why I'm saying that apart from comps, we've never chilled. That's why my approach was the way it was when you walked in. I was like, oh, this chick is actually cool, dog. Why is she always? Because understand, I'm always emceeing. No, really, I'm always emceeing, hosting, and when I come and speak to you, and I say, yo, guys, we got Courtney Paul in the house. You're like, no, Pacou, don't.
Yeah, because what is that? Stop it.
Because you made something of yourself. I mean, look at this. Like I said earlier on, you are a person who comes from nothing to something. Yeah. Nobody helped you, like you said. No, nobody opened doors for you. You did that yourself. Yeah. That needs to be celebrated because there are people out there who think if nobody opens the door for me, I will not make it in life. But here you are striving. You even got an EP out. Come on. Coming from being a DJ, a Bgirl DJ, now you got an EP signed to 5th Season. Holla at your girl.
I'll take it.
Do you know what I'm saying?
But the thing is, I don't know if we're ready to all celebrate it yet. I think as an industry, we're still in a place of pointing fingers, questioning things instead of supporting it. I think the industry is still so small, and my thoughts on it is when everybody's fighting for the same piece of the same pie, I'm never going to be able to be happy for you if I feel it's something I'm supposed to have. Which is why from very early on, I removed myself purely, firstly for my mental state, because I was like, I'm very emotional. I'm super into everything I do. There's no way I could do what I do without it really loving it. So if you start to affect my everyday, and you make me not want to dance, then there's a problem. And for a long time, I thought it was me. You know, oh, you're doing this wrong. This is not what B-girls, like you said, B-girls don't look like you. Okay, cool. Then I go home. Damn, what is that supposed to look like? Instead of, if you have the knowledge, let me impart it and let me try. Give you the keys to figure out how to make this thing right. We bash it, and it's like crabs in a bucket. And I always say that about like my community as colored people. We say we're like crabs in a bucket. We can't celebrate each other. But I feel like that's how dancers in this country have become too. I feel like you're super lucky if you're part of a crew and you're part of a clique that support you. But when you come from the outside and you don't look the same, you don't talk the same, you don't dance the same, yo, you're gonna have to dig deep. So
how did you get into clinch? Because I mean, when Beat Battle was happening, we were quite surprised to see you there because clinch was so secretive when it comes.
I kind of like that. I won't lie. I quite like that.
Oh wow, you part of clinch? What the hell, bro?
That was actually a very interesting story, and I don't think a lot of people know much about how that happened. But on one end, it was such a blessing because, and I spoke to Simba about this the other day. We hadn't spoken in years, and we also till this day, or was this before you? I had him on. No, he interviewed me for something about 2 or 3 weeks ago, a month ago, and we had such a nice conversation. And it was almost like we came full circle because clinch, the way it ended, wasn't a great thing. The way that it ended, but people grow up and responsibilities change, and it's just like nobody gives each other room to grow. I see. You immediately say you've changed and you're not who you said you were. Okay, shut up. I don't want to be who I said I was. I'm striving to be a different me every day. If I stay the same, like, what are we doing? So we had such a nice conversation about it, and I said to him, for me, clinch really, it gave me a space to just feel at home for once. When I moved here, I felt like I was under pressure, under attack all the time. And clinch just gave me this like little hub of like, yo, you're safe. Nice. You know? So how it started was, Anthony Morgan was managing Toy DeLazy at the time. Yes. Enter Bash, Enter Junior. And they had come to Durban for a show. And I don't know how, I was backstage chatting to them, and Bash and I were talking at the time, and he's like, yo, you need to be part of this team. Or I said, I want to be part of this team. I can't remember how the convo went. But Anthony was like, the team is full, but if you like keep pushing, if somebody slips out, you're around, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, cool, I'm gonna make sure I'm available every damn time. And true snaps. And Anthony was just like, yo, if you want to be part of the team, you need to move. that's what it is. Like you're the only one flying out of Durban every time you need to move.
Yeah.
So I was like, cool, I'm gonna move. No plan, no understanding of what I'm getting into. It's not like a paying job where every day I'm sorted. It was just like moving on faith, man. And then obviously just the relationship with Bash kind of grew, and then meeting Jamal and the guys at the studio at the time. Remember the studio in North Riding, right?
I just caught on now, like the studio.
I should have said it better, but yeah. So I was at the studio all the time, and this for me, it was such a defining moment, and I don't know if anybody will even realize. Everybody was getting ready for beat battles.
Yeah.
And Anouk calls me. I'll never forget, I was in a taxi going to the studio. I think I even had Mark sitting next to me.
Oh, wow.
And Anouk's like, look, we're putting a crew of all females together. Come to the studio tomorrow. We're going to have our first rehearsal or whatever. I'm like, this is my time. I've been waiting. Because, you know, when you come from a place of kind of feeling like the black sheep all the time, you're almost just waiting for people to invite you. Like, you just want to be part of this thing, whatever this thing is. Go to the studio. They teach me some choreo. I'm in there. They're like, can you solo? I'm like, sweet. Okay, cool. And that was when I met Michelle.
Yeah.
Right?
Open show.
Yes.
I actually had it the other day.
That for me, like, even if her and I, we've had our ups and downs, but for me, she will always be somebody that I'm like, yo, I will have your back. Like, we've gone through the mills, you know? But for me, yeah. she knows. I don't know, she knows. But anyway, long story short, I think 2 days later, I get a call saying, yo, basically, if you in the crew, people are leaving. Is it the first time that happened to me coming to Joburg? No. So in my little state, I was like, I completely understand you guys had relationships prior to me joining, like all good. Let me take it on the chin. Michelle gets wind, she's like, I'm out with you. I don't know Michelle. That's why for me, I don't care. Like Michelle, like I will go to bat for her. So she gets wind of this, she's like, nah, you were the one that like I was most excited about. You brought a style that none of us did, like I'm coming with you. So I'm like, okay, sweet, I don't know where we're going. Next things of next, Jay calls or Simba calls, we are within clinch. And it just so happened, there were no females in clinch at the time, so I think everybody was taken aback a little bit. But for me, the moment I stepped into the clinch rehearsal, I knew, nah, this is where I'm supposed to be. The attitudes, the way they took themselves, like, yeah, everybody was full of shit, like, mind my language. But everybody, but they had a right to be. They were such dope dancers, and for me, like, there was a clear leader. Yo, nobody, like, hey, are you okay? It wasn't about that.
Cater for your feelings.
We rehearsed this one backflip, me running up Bash's neck. I don't know what we were doing. And they didn't care if I was tired. They didn't care if Bash's back was ready. It was just like, cool, this is what we're doing.
Did they have a militant approach, or was it just like something that you felt that, you know what,
I think this is needed for what we want to achieve? Everybody had that kind of energy, like, we're about to go in, you know? And I don't have any experience of them in the past. But when I was there, and this was also my first experience with a crew.
Oh, word?
Yeah, I'd never been in a crew.
I always thought you were part of Genesis for some reason.
No.
I always thought you were part of...
That's another thing. Yes, there were crews in Durban, but where was my place? I'm not sure.
Oh, I see.
Do you know what I mean? I never really fit in, and maybe that's my fault, but I never had that kind of confidence or that kind of know-how. If I was just starting as a B-girl, like I said, I didn't know what I was doing. So where am I going to go like, yo, put me in your crew, I'm a breaker. I was never going to do it.
If you said it like that, I would put you, okay, yeah.
And they're like, oh, it's you. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. You know?
Courtney!
You know, you make it. There was only so much I could have faked it.
Oh my God.
You know? But yeah, so that's how the clinch thing happened for me, and it really put me in a space of coming into the dance scene for once. That was the first time I was actually in the scene, not just gigging, because I've always been very, let me chase the work. I'm somebody who, let me get us booked, let me get us paid. I've just been that way. I've never really been around dancers. So for me, that was the first experience, and it was just like, we'd be in studio till early hours of the morning, like Michelle crashing at my place because she stays in flippin' Pretoria. Dude. Also, like, why are you guys staying there? It's really far. You know, and it brought us so close, and I think, everybody had their fallouts after, but it was a really good time for me, so.
I'm really happy for you, man. I mean, you're doing well for yourself, and my producer's telling me you got like 3 minutes left. So you sponsored by A6 now?
Yes.
How did that come about?
Sure. I think I first signed about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
It was quite a thing for me because it was probably the first deal I've ever signed of this nature.
Are you telling me like Gauteng has literally, through your hard work, done this to you? Like, yo, okay, we see what you've done. Here, this is for you.
Is that Gauteng?
Well, from what I hear.
Well, Essex head office is in Cape Town, so I'm not really
Oh, God, just say.
I wouldn't say it's Gauteng,
Okay.
but you know, I think I've also just been really good at keeping my real. That's why when people say like the things you said earlier, I can't understand it, because anybody who knows me or has worked with me, I keep my relationships. I look after people. Like, I like people.
That's why you got your own company now, right?
Yes.
You did a gig
And
with
exactly
that. What was it?
Could be anyone.
No, you had dancers. Even Faith was there.
DSTV's. Was
There
the
you
most
go.
recent one.
Yeah.
So
there
for
you go.
example, something like that, like if I look like Eugene just walked in now, we went straight from, I had him for a YFM TVC that I did in, I think, Feb. Straight from there to a Heineken conference, and then we went into lockdown. I'm very like, I appreciate the people around me, not because you owe me anything, but because if we can respect each other,
That's what's
the
up.
work can go a long way. Which is why people always like, you work with the same people. Yeah, because when I try to branch out, you guys give me shit. Like, you do the most. And for me, it's always been a thing of, let's just work. Like, I always say, we don't have to be the best dancers.
Yeah.
However, let's be the best people we
That's
can be.
what's up.
Let's be professional, rock up on time. Like, we've all had our moments, but also we're grown now. Like, how much longer are we gonna drop the ball? We want dancers to be taken seriously, but we're out here behaving like clowns. It just doesn't make sense, so.
Okay, with that being said, quickly before we go,
Yeah.
what would you change in the dance industry or entertainment industry, and why? Last question. What is it that you
Yeah, I would just change the way dancers are one, portrayed, and also the way they are taken and accepted. Like I say, I think it is a two-sided coin. On one hand, we need to be better. We need to show people the value in this thing. We need to justify why we want to be paid and respected and the way DJs and artists and whoever are. So let's justify that and let's actually be that and not yada 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 so much. And then on the other side, it's like, dancers work really hard.
Very.
Like, they put the most hours in, they're out there busting their bodies the whole time. It's not like once you learn your lyrics, now you can come in and perform it. Like,
Truth.
you can still break your neck now, you know? So for me, it's just about also, let's respect the people who are pushing culture, who are giving you the trends, who take years to kind of just, you know?
put everything out there?
Yeah.
Courtney, we've come to the end of this interview. I'm really glad you are here. This was really cool. I felt like I was just chilling at home. To
You're
be quite
welcome.
honest.
I don't know why you're sitting in my house, but you're welcome.
So to people, if they want to get hold of you, where can they get hold of you on?
Don't, I'm not a nice person. I'm joking. Everywhere, Courtnae Paul, or Instagram, Twitter, Courtnae_Paul. Yeah, man. If you spell it like N-E-Y, you're not going to find it. And then maybe
Spell it. Then say it. How do you just Courtney?
Yeah,
Come on.
N-A-E.
Okay, there
So
you go.
an A and an E next to each other makes an A. You know, colored people, when they just want to add spice,
Oh
that's what
my
my
God.
mother was doing. Yeah.
Oh man, it was really a pleasure seeing you
you,
here,
thank
especially during these COVID times. I know for a fact that we just went to level 1 like a month ago, so everybody's now trying to get work and make that money. So for you to be here, we really, really appreciate it.
Nah,
man,
thank you
know
for
what I'm
having me.
saying?
It's been a vibe.
Yeah, really, right? Pacou Mutombo, I'm out of here. Just go.
Somebody needs to help me off this. This is very high.